Imagine a world draped in ice, a vast and frozen landscape stretching as far as the eye can see. This was the world of the woolly mammoth, a magnificent creature that roamed the earth during the last ice age. Standing as tall as a modern elephant, these giants were covered in a thick, shaggy coat of brown fur, which protected them from the biting cold of their environment. Beneath their skin, a thick layer of fat provided extra insulation, a vital adaptation for survival in such a harsh climate. Their most iconic feature, of course, was their enormous curved tusks, which they used to clear snow in search of grasses and to defend themselves from predators. These incredible animals were a cornerstone of their ecosystem, known as the mammoth steppe. They were not solitary wanderers, but lived in herds, traversing the cold, dry grasslands of Europe, Asia, and North America. The last of the woolly mammoths vanished from our planet roughly 4,000 years ago. As the planet warmed and the glaciers retreated, the vast grasslands they depended on for food began to disappear, replaced by forests and wetlands. This dramatic change in their habitat, coupled with increasing hunting pressure from early humans, pushed these majestic beasts toward their final decline. But now, in a twist that feels like it has been pulled from the pages of science fiction, a group of scientists and entrepreneurs believe they have the tools to bring the spirit of the mammoth back to the modern world. They are embarking on an ambitious journey to resurrect not the mammoth itself, but a new creature with all its incredible traits. Just because we can bring something like a mammoth back, does it mean we should? The idea of bringing back an extinct animal often conjures images of cloning, of taking ancient DNA and creating an exact copy of a creature from the past. However, the work being done by the company Colossal Biosciences is something different and, in many ways, far more complex. Their goal is not to create a perfect replica of a woolly mammoth. Instead, they aim to create a new kind of animal, a modern elephant that is genetically engineered to have the key characteristics that allowed the mammoth to thrive in the cold. It would be a mammoth-like elephant, a proxy species designed for a specific purpose in the 21st century. The scientific foundation for this project rests on the close relationship between the woolly mammoth and its nearest living relative, the Asian elephant. Amazingly, their DNA is 99.6% identical, providing a genetic blueprint to work from. Using the revolutionary gene editing tool known as CRISPR, scientists can carefully snip and edit the DNA of an Asian elephant. A monumental breakthrough occurred recently, making this futuristic vision seem much more attainable. For years, scientists struggled to create a special type of cell from elephants called an induced pluripotent stem cell, or iPSC. These remarkable cells can be programmed to develop into any type of tissue in the body: skin, hair, muscle, or nerve. In early 2025, scientists at Colossal finally succeeded in creating these elephant stem cells. This achievement is a game-changer, as it allows them to test their genetic edits in a lab dish, growing mammoth-like hair, for example, without needing to create a full embryo for every experiment. It is a crucial and safer step on the long road to creating a living, breathing animal. The process is still incredibly challenging. Once the desired genes have been successfully edited and tested using these new stem cells, the plan is to create an embryo. This genetically modified embryo would then be carried to term by a surrogate mother, likely an African elephant due to their larger size, which is closer to that of a mammoth. The public target for the birth of the first calf is set for 2028. The ambition to bring back a mammoth-like creature is about more than just scientific curiosity or the spectacle of seeing a prehistoric beast walk the earth again. Proponents of the project argue that it could have profound and positive impacts, addressing two of the most significant challenges our planet faces today: climate change and the loss of biodiversity. The primary goal is to reintroduce these large herbivores to the Arctic. This vast grassland was once maintained by the grazing and trampling of giant herds, and its restoration could be a powerful tool in the fight against global warming. The theory behind this is fascinating. Today, the Arctic tundra is often covered by a thick blanket of snow in winter, which acts as insulation, keeping the ground beneath it relatively warm. This warmth accelerates the thawing of the permafrost, the permanently frozen soil that holds vast amounts of trapped carbon. If this permafrost thaws, It could release enormous quantities of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. A herd of mammoth-like elephants would dramatically change this dynamic. By trampling and compacting the snow, they would remove its insulating effect, allowing the deep, freezing air of winter to penetrate the soil. This could help keep the permafrost frozen, locking away the carbon and slowing a dangerous climate feedback loop. Beyond the climate benefits, the project is also designed to help protect the very animal that makes it possible, the endangered Asian elephant. The advanced genetic tools being developed by Colossal are not just for creating mammoth hybrids, they can also be used for modern conservation. For example, scientists could use this technology to increase genetic diversity within dwindling elephant populations, making them more resilient. Furthermore, they could potentially engineer resistance to devastating diseases like the elephant endotheliotropic herpes virus, a virus that is a leading cause of death for young Asian elephants in captivity and in the wild. The science of de-extinction in this view becomes a powerful engine for preserving existing life. This dual purpose is central to the project's justification. The argument is that the immense funding and public attention drawn to the Mammoth project can fuel a wave of innovation that benefits all of conservation biology. By pursuing this audacious goal, we develop tools and techniques that might otherwise have taken decades to create. Despite the potential benefits, the plan to resurrect a mammoth-like creature is shadowed by significant ethical questions and practical concerns. Many scientists and conservationists worry that this grand project, while scientifically impressive, may be misguided. One of the most pressing issues is the welfare of the animals themselves. What kind of life would these first-of-their-kind creatures have? Elephants are highly intelligent and social animals with complex needs. Critics question whether a genetically engineered hybrid, born from a surrogate mother of a different species and placed in an environment it has never known, could ever truly thrive. They fear we might be creating a lonely, confused animal destined for a life in a controlled enclosure, a scientific curiosity rather than a wild creature. The de-extinction project has attracted hundreds of millions of dollars in funding, an enormous sum of money in the world of conservation. Some experts argue that this capital could be better spent protecting the countless species that are on the brink of extinction right now. They contend that we should focus our efforts on saving what we still have, the rhinos, tigers, and, indeed, the existing elephant populations, rather than investing in the high-tech, high-risk venture of bringing back a proxy of a species that is already gone. The fear is that such spectacular projects divert not only money, but also public attention from the more immediate and ongoing biodiversity crisis. Another layer of concern involves the unpredictable ecological consequences of introducing a large engineered animal into the modern Arctic. While the goal is to restore the mammoth steppe, ecosystems are incredibly complex webs of interaction. Releasing a powerful new species could have unforeseen and potentially negative impacts on the native plants, animals, and delicate balance of the current tundra environment. Some worry that the animal could face a second extinction, as it may not be perfectly suited to survive in a world that has changed so dramatically over the last 4,000 years. We are, in essence, conducting a massive ecological experiment with unknown outcomes. Ultimately, the debate over reviving the woolly mammoth forces us to confront fundamental questions about our role on this planet. It pushes us to consider the line between responsible stewardship and scientific hubris. Is it our duty to use our technological power to correct a past extinction, especially one we may have contributed to? Or is it more responsible to accept that extinction is a natural part of life and focus our energies on preserving the world as it is today? There are no easy answers. The prospect of a mammoth returning to the snows of the north is undeniably captivating, but it asks us to think deeply about what it truly means to protect nature.